Good morning. Welcome back. Now, this segment is for Libra to Pisces. This is Chakra Losa for your weekend tarot. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. TGIF. And those who celebrate, happy Good Friday. All right. And then we have Easter Sunday coming up this weekend as well. So I hope you guys stay safe and enjoy whatever events you have going on this weekend. I will be volunteering in Long Beach tomorrow. They're gonna be passing out Easter baskets under um, I believe it's in the area of St. Anthony's community. I forgot the name of the park already. It's in my email, but sometimes I help out volunteer in the city of Long Beach. It was a very, very hard choice because I could do that, which I prefer to choose today. Not today, but I decided to do the volunteering in Long Beach, but also because the Midnight Mission reached out and I usually help them too. And I was like, damn it. Theirs is on Sunday, but Sunday I have my own thing with my daughter, so I I won't be volunteering. Then it's like I select only one organization. And of course, I do the Marine Mammal Care Center on occasion as well for Pen and Pet Patrol. So I try to keep myself occupied. Okay. Anyway, how are you? Libra to Pisces. Let's go ahead and get down into it. As you can see, it's a different setup today. I'm still in my living room, but since I spring semester started, I have the computer in my living room set up to where I could do Zoom. So that's why I just decided to use it. But instead of using Zoom for this, I'm actually using my OBS Studio, which I used to go live on Twitch for DJing. So this is my OBS program doing this. All right. I have the Smith Waite Tarot, the gold foiled one, and then I have my Omen and my T, my Oracle cards that I like to use on the weekend because they have, music. And then today, I decided to also include the Cosmic Insight Tarot. Okay, so there'll be some extra fun today. Take whatever resonates and leave the rest, you guys. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. Libra. Messages do we have for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising today? And also because it's a new deck, they're very slippery, so sometimes they just like see. Oh, they popped out, so I'm going to read these. You got the Queen of Wands, Libra, and you have the Seven of Cups, and then you have the Eight of Pentacles. All right. This is the message I'm getting for you, Libras watching. You are feeling motivated. You are feeling the spark. You are feeling that you just want to move forward and just handle business. Some of you are still not feeling it. But those of you that are, let's shift the energy to finding that spark and that purpose, okay? I prefer that you feel fulfilled. All right. That's part of why I do what I do. Okay. I'm not going to tell you it's okay, girl. No, it's like what's causing this. Okay. So some of you are still not feeling it. Some of you are feeling it. So let's put it all together and be like, all right, let's do this. Let's feel it. What motivates you? What would make you happy? And then you don't have to answer that to me. You have to answer that to you because that's how you feel in here. Okay. Anyway, that spark from the queen, the go-getter, the lover, the everything. Okay. That's all the energy of that particular queen here. However, there's so many choices. There's so many, directions you could take. So many to choose from, like when you go to like a shop, like I like to use a candy shop. There's so much candy. I don't get excited at candy shops because I don't really like to eat candy. And if I did want to eat a candy, I do like those Asian candies. They're like the milky ones. Those are good. But other than that, I'm a chocolate lover. Okay, I love chocolate. But anyway, so it's like I'm gonna use chocolate because that would make me excited. Okay. You go into a chocolate shop and then they have it separated by dark pure cacao, set percentage of cacao, and then all this is all milk chocolate, and you're like, okay, cool. But then you look at all the variations they have. They have with nuts, they have without nuts, they have with raisins, they have with that Rice Krispie stuff, they have with, what is it called? No, nougat, like the marshmallows inside. They have like fruit bigs, chocolate covered straw, all that stuff, and then they even have a chocolate fountain. So you're like, but you only have a certain amount of money or budget or time, and you're like, I can't go through all this. What should I pick? So that kind of like, oh my gosh, okay, a buffet. So it's like you have a buffet of selection of options. Okay. The next card, which is the Eight of Pentacles, that one is it's pretty much giving the answer. Whatever you pick still requires the work, still requires the dedication, still requires the education, the study, if need be. If what you want to pursue right now requires to go to school, do it. And I know people, well, I don't have the money. They have, okay. I'll give you insider info on what, and not about insider, what's the right word to say? Here's a tip. I noticed that all these community colleges have extension programs for you to get a certification. You don't have $2,000 to be a certain blah, blah, blah that you want to do. A firm now works with them. If you know what a firm is, it's like it takes out a certain amount of money. You use probably a firm for other shit, to buy yourself clothes, to buy yourself something to look cool, going outside, going to a party. Why can't you use a firm for long-term gain like education if you definitely want a degree or a certification in something? That's just me just giving you that, because I know that someone always says the time. Make the time. You have the time to be on your phone. You have the time to be watching a TV show or whatever. Make time for your education. If you want it that bad, you're going to, if there's a will, there's a way. Okay. There's no excuse. So whatever it is that you pick, Libra, it's going to require some rebalancing in your life. And that will require you to make some time to do the work, to educate, to study, etc. Let's get omen for you here, because as usual, there's omen and there's tea. The omen is speaking. This one popped out. Right. Okay. The song that came out of my oracle for you, Libra, and I know a lot of the songs you're like, what the hell? But see, that this is how I see the messages. They could go in any part of your life. It doesn't matter. In this case, you got In the Club by 50 Cent. Okay. So while the song talks about partying like it's your birthday and all that stuff, it's like, if we're talking about what you want here, okay, balance that good time, because it's telling me, okay, well, what will be the setback here will be that some of you prefer to enjoy a short-term like rush of adrenaline, or that, what's the other one, dopamine, just that quick high, or that, and not really, and then later you're like, you're left like this because it wasn't what you want. You wanted something that continues to be fulfilling, right? So then balance that good time, right? The good time, balance it. Focus focus on celebration. Okay, how about seeing that if you get this degree or certification, or perhaps you're looking to move up in the career, then see it that when you accomplish it because of your hard work and dedication, you get to celebrate. Look, it's your birthday. Okay, I just bounced. Escapism. Balance that escapism. Some of you have habits of finding other means to not really like look at situations from a long-term perspective, okay? That's what I'm getting from this reading right now. It's like you want something. Some of you want it so bad you're already on your way. Others want it but are still sitting there like, oh, not finding the drive. But you have drive for other shit that is, like I said, it's like short term, and it's like that won't get you anywhere, okay? Um, so letting loose in the form of, if you have like a routine. Okay, that's the down one I got. If you have a routine of, okay, 9 to 5 work, you come home, you have dinner, and then you sit and watch TV. And that is your usual Monday to Friday, okay? Then Saturday, Sunday, you sleep in. When you wake up, you decide, hey, what's up with someone? Like, are you doing anything? No, let's go have a beer, or let's go catch a coffee and all that. And that's your usual routine. It's like not never ending. And then later on at night, you go to a club. Just give me an example. Then right there, something needs to be cut loose or loosened up to adjust to what you want to do. Okay, that's the message I'm getting. Let's get a cosmic insight message for you, Libra. Take what resonates, leave the rest. These are general messages, okay? Okay, and this one, all right, this one is talking about divorce, experiencing a sort of a breakup. And I mean, divorce, it applies more towards marriage, okay? If take what resonates, if that's what needs to be cut out or loosened up in order for you to reach certain goals because it's not working out, two different, people have differences, then that's a message for you. Others, to me, experiencing a breakup is that you just have to break up with certain routines or certain habits, especially if they're not allowing you to grow. All right? Take what resonates, Libra, leave the rest. Now we move on to Scorpio. This is Weekend Tarot. We have Scorpio. What message do we have for my Scorpios watching today? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. All right. We have Five of Wands. We have Eight of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles. What's interesting is that you have similar cards as, I believe Leo had the similar cards. All right. Perhaps you're having a situation with a Leo. It could go either way. Leos are probably bumping heads with Scorpio, or Scorpios are bumping heads with a Leo. Take what resonates, okay? So the energy of the Five of Wands is very competitive. Like it's a message of there's a lot of competitiveness. Okay, in this case, I would say that competitiveness is actually causing you, Scorpio, to find yourself agitated, anxious, uh, like really, really in your head, or when they say like really at the bottom, vibration wise, it has you low because you're feeling like you're stuck. You're feeling like you have no control over it because the Eight of Swords is feeling bounded and also blind. But with the blindness, sometimes when you sit quietly and allow yourself to feel and listen to the inner voice, that's where you find the freedom, because then the solution comes up, right? So there is like competitiveness around you, perhaps arguments, people not seeing eye to eye. And this weekend is pretty spicy emotional wise, so perhaps you're feeling that too. Um, the Page of Pentacles is bringing some form, like it's bringing news, okay? The news could be related to something that's long term, um, stability, or something that makes you feel safe and content, because it has a longer effect versus short-term effect. But let's get the tea on why this is going on. Okay. Let's get more clarification on this for Scorpio. You know, that competitiveness, you feeling like, oh my gosh, what to do. I'm going to do it like this because I did get stuck. So there's a lot of cards I sometimes don't see. All right, let's see what this one is. Ah, interesting. The Waiting Room by Fugazi, 1989, number 9. Okay, Waiting Room by Fugazi is the song that came off for you, Scorpio. Uh, there is time wasted right now. There's people wasting time, probably around this competitiveness, okay? This is causing lack of progression, especially because if you're sitting there and not knowing what to do, throat chakra. someone wants to, someone really wants to like let someone have it. Yeah. And, you know, I always have water or tea here. And earlier I had my cacao because I did do my cacao ceremony prior to logging in with before my readings for Aries to Virgo. So I'm already done with that cacao, but for this one, like I decided to bring water. And I was not going to put anything here because I was fine, but I said, you know what? Every now and then I get the irritation, but I didn't need the water. maybe, no. So if someone wants to just let someone have it, speak up, speak the truth. That's what I'm getting with me as I'm talking. So this competitiveness means that you want to just let someone really hear you out, Scorpio. There is some stagnancy surrounding the situation. Perhaps it's been going for a while. Existential crisis that might put you in, you know, in this energy here with the Eight of Swords where you're like, where am I going? Why is this going on? Why does it happen to me? Why me? Why me? Okay. Feeling dead inside. The irony of the word death in Scorpio always puts a smile on my face and not in a morbid or dark way, guys. It's just, if you guys know, like our read astrology, Scorpio rules the house of death, which is the 8th house. So yeah, it's like Pluto, all that stuff. That's all underworld, like underworld. Okay, so you're feeling death inside. You are probably running on a linear course, Scorpio, fixed. So you cannot unbind yourself, perhaps taking a nonlinear approach is another thing, because I wrote here linear. So it gives give me the vibe that you are sticking to a certain way of how things should go, perhaps, and that's that, instead of taking another approach. So this is just suggestion from this, okay? Let's get a cosmic insight for Scorpio. I can't wait for lunch. I actually made a really delicious soup with calabaza, potato, carrots, your usual veggies that go in a caldito. But I had boiled chicken breast like the other day, and I had it in the freezer, so I defrosted it, and then I made like I shredded the chicken breast, and they're so good, especially with some arrocito. Oh my gosh, yeah. Now you I shuffled. You guys saw this shuffled. In one of the I think it was Virgo, probably was it Virgo, maybe we had they got divorced, or maybe it was Libra, one else, I think it was Libra. So some of you guys might need to break up something in order to find that sense of peace, okay? Perhaps the message from the Page of Pentacles, when I was saying that you might get news that is like that will affect you long term, if there's a divorce involved, then discussions of money come up, right? Alimony and child support if there's kids involved. Perhaps if there's an argument with family and someone passed away, perhaps it's talk about wills and estates. Those that didn't do their taxes might hear from the IRS, all that stuff. So there is a breakup of something. It doesn't have to be divorce with like marriage. It's like either ties are being cut or situations are shaking up your ground right now. Okay. Hence, it is understandable why you also feel blinded. So, I read what The Waiting Room by Fugazi song, some of the messages from there. I'm reading some from here. You take what resonates, Scorpio, and leave the rest. Okay. Now we move on to Sagittarius. Message do we have for Sagittarius watching today? Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. We have Three of Pentacles. We have the Strength card. We have the Chariot. I get here a progression in your, you could say in your what you consider home. Okay. Because some people consider home if they spend a lot of time in the office working or in their business, that's their home. But wherever you consider home, you're working towards your long-term stability here. Okay. Perhaps there's children involved already to some of you. Perhaps children are coming and perhaps children are being planned. All that would tell me that there's a need to plan better and long term, right? The Strength card is telling me that some of you are struggling with, um, you could say, mm, not seeing eye to eye with someone. So it does kind of trigger your little fire inside. And perhaps some Sagittarians that I've come across, when you want to have a certain discussion with them, the discussion tends to come off to the receiver like if they're being smartasses with you. I mean, they rule the house of high education, the ninth house, so very philosophical. So Sagittarius sometimes tends to feel that they know more than you. In this case, it's saying that a bit of more diplomacy, Strength card, is to be used if you want to make things work, especially when we're talking long term. Then it requires knowing how to work, knowing how to tame the inner beast, the inner lion, and to work towards whatever goal or path you want to take forward. Okay. The Chariot, immediately I get Cancer energy from that. And of course, Cancer rules the fourth house of family. So I did say that I get the vibe of family here. So um relationships with mama, with the mama san, all that. Okay. Also the Chariot, it describes, it's more of like determination and movement towards goals. Okay. So what are your determinations? What are your goals here? The Chariot is just sitting in place right now. You need it to move. So is it going to move by itself or are you going to do this? But how can you get it to move if you're still in the energy of like trying to make a point and be right? That Chariot's gonna not gonna move. It's gonna stick there. So the common ground needs to be found here with the Strength card. Working with the desire to make this work, then you need to have that diplomacy with wherever it is so the movement could start into, you wanting to get this going. Okay. Let's get some tea on this with my music oracle. Yeah, I'm doing it this way because since the cards get stuck, I want to make sure that I get to actually look at more of them. And then I did put sticker. Oh, this one stood out. I did put stickers on them that have absolutely nothing to do with this. It's just to make it look nice, but the stickers also call to me. So, this one that came out for you. It's called Mirror in the Bathroom by the English Beat Sagittarius. 1980, number 9. If you're watching, you're born in 1980. And then number 9, we were talking about the ninth house. Another house. Overthinking. Check yourself. Check yourself. There's a form of narcissism surrounding this situation. Self-absorbed, self-centered. You're looking at yourself in the mirror. Perhaps you're doing this a lot too. What I say goes, fuck you, bitch. That's the devil. I just got. But this checking yourself is checking this here, that beast, that inner beast. We all have inner beast. We all have that, okay, that child that wants to be hurt, okay? And then checking yourself is knowing when you need to bring it down a notch or read the room, okay? The narcissism, if you, a narcissist will never accept that they're a narcissist, but I'm just putting it here that there perhaps is some narcissism surrounding the situation, being self-absorbed, that it's for you only, and self-centered, that it revolves around you. No, it should not revolve around you. All right, that's your song here. Let's say what Cosmic Insight says for my Sagittarians watching. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Oop, this one popped out. Let go. Letting go, Sagittarius, means the things I just mentioned. You want to let go of that kind of stuff so you could make room for that new beginning you're aiming towards, because it's on its way. So whatever it is that you have been planning, desiring, or working on, it's on its way, but all this needs to be worked on in order to get that. Okay, so let go. Look at the butterfly. I mean, to me, that's like transformation. So that will require some transformation on your behalf. All right, Sag? Take what resonates, leave the rest. Now we move to Capricorn. Capricorn. All right, what message do we have for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? God damn it. These were just a slip up because of how slippery these cards are. So I'll just continue shuffling. Yeah, this is a new deck that I bought because my Smith weights are like from different artists, even though they have the same. But this time I actually said, you know what? I need an actual Smith weight because the last one I had is all fucked up. All right, Capricorn. We have the High Priestess. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Judgment. Ooh, another major arcana. Ace of Pentacles. All right. I get, there's things that you are unaware of surrounding you. When things aren't too sure, with the High Priestess, that it means that you need to trust your intuition on the situation, okay? With the High Priestess, she does rule the 12th house of hidden enemies in the astrology charts. So perhaps there's people around you who are not who you think they are, okay, as well. So be mindful of that. Looking at things, if the intuition says that's what it is, it's what it is. Okay? Judgment is once you get that sufficient intuitive downloads for yourself, Capricorn, then we come to judgment. You use your judgment. Is this something that, was that came alive, or came alive because these people are coming out of coffins here? Did this come out or come alive or resurrect because perhaps of what you've done before? It's like a karmic thing, okay? Because there's sometimes situations come back around so we could face them. How did we handle ourselves or handle a situation back then? So it's a form of using a better sense of judgment perhaps this time, because the ace coming up is saying that you're having an opportunity to start a new chapter with something that's long term, but there's these two things that need to be brought to your attention. It's like there's hidden information from you. There's hidden people that might be working against you. There's also you need to use discernment in how you contributed in some of the situations to where you find yourself at the moment. Okay. Let's get an omen on this one with my song, with my music oracle. I'm gonna go through the cards and see which one stands out for me. Some of them are like facing me instead of like facing the, okay. This crystal ball is getting my attention. Let's see what this is about. Policy of Truth, Depeche Mode 1990, number 1. So some of you might be born in January, okay? Some of you might, let me see, something could happen within 1 day, 1 month from now, or until January of next year. 1990, like I said, perhaps if you're watching it from 1990, maybe perhaps something happened around that time that's repeating its cycle now. So the policy of truth and putting all this together, it's the consequences of truth. What does the truth cause when you're truthful with something? It has its own, like, you could say its own outcome, right? Yeah, like consequence of truth. The consequence of action, taking action, what are the consequences of that? Integrity, have you been standing to your integrity or lacking integrity? Well, whatever you want, test that integrity. Then we have honesty. All right, as well. Is it honest? If you weren't honest, and this is something that's circling the block, you know, just letting you know that those little skeletons in the closet are popping up right here with the high priestess. Okay, take what resonates from that. Capricorn, let's get a cosmic insight card for you. It's the backup alarm from that trash truck outside. It's kind of telling me you need to back up and really look at your situation. Okay. That was an ambulance. Sometimes the sheriff passes by here, so that sounds like an ambulance. So you might want to make sure that you're doing things correctly, checking your health, all that stuff, okay? No, it's not the right time. So whatever it is needs to be fixed here in order for you to move forward. So whatever it is that you're trying to move forward, but you're ignoring these two things, it might have a consequence that you might not like. So right now it's not the right time to whatever it is that you want to move forward to, because these two things need to be, this little karmic cycle here needs to be fixed. Take what resonate, leave the rest, Capricorn. There's too much skeletons in that closet. Let me see this card go. Now we move to Aquarius. What message do we have for Aquarius watching? Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Thank you, Aquarius, for being here. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Oh, yeah, these cards are so slippery. Oop, okay. These popped up, but no. They wanted to, but they didn't. All right. Aquarius, you got the Hangman. Do, do, do. Four of Cups. The Fool. All right, Aquarius. Right now you perhaps are going through a phase of where you don't see any movement. Things are not moving. And because of it, you're probably trying to control outcomes and you just keep hitting a roadblock, something that just keeps stopping and you're like, what the fuck? Okay. But right now it's the time for you to actually pause and reflect on why things are not moving. And with the hangman, I did say in my last, someone else got the hangman in their in the last segment. Um, when you look at the image, it looks like right now what we're talking about, a sacrifice. And I did mention that in one of my videos, I talked about San Simon, where he takes that form of being used to sacrifice himself to represent Judas Iscariot in the celebrations in Guatemala. Okay, so in this case, it's like you're hanging by your foot or your leg here by one of them. You're confident in your position of meditation and you're just letting yourself just hang there. But with the enlightenment around the light around the full I mean the hangman here, it's showing me that you will find the answer to what is putting this, situation on hold right now. Okay? The situation is on hold is because at the same time it's that you got to think like, well, everything's just been going too fast and now it's time to kind of stop to see what the next step will be, right? Um, we move to the Four of Cups. This is causing, if you don't see the positive of that suspension, then it could potentially move to the Four of Cups where nothing will satisfy you, or you already moved from it and you're like you're still unsatisfied despite you getting what you wanted. You're still, because if you controlled it and you got an outcome, you're still not happy about it. If you allow the suspension and you continue like fighting it, then of course you're going to feel unhappy. So the Four Cups could go either way. It's like someone could come to you and put like four pieces of like gold glass, like gold, we could say chalices in front of you. You know that they represent a lot of money because it's gold, right? And um you're still like, because it's not emotionally fulfilling you at all. And someone says, but look what's inside. Picks one up and shows it to you. And you're like, to me, that shows a lack of gratitude. Simple as that. It's like you're not seeing that there is a benefit to the suspension. You're not seeing that you probably are being presented with a better outcome somewhere because you're so busy focused on that internal unhappiness. Okay. Now we move to the Fool. The Fool is starting fresh, a new opportunity, and it could go either way. If you're controlling and not allowing the flow of, there's like sometimes divine is moving stuff. There is an invisible movement of energy around us, and if we're forcing it, we might find ourselves in a situation where we fall flat on our face, right? Like a child that just takes off running, perhaps they don't know how to walk well yet. They might just fall and eat shit, right? Immediately, boom, right? So the Fool represents a childlike energy. It's also like there is like also because it's like a child. Aries is considered the child. Perhaps you're dealing with someone that's Aries, or perhaps you're dealing with your own immaturities that you still aren't able. It's like, I know better, blah, 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 which Aquarius also feels that they also do know a lot. Okay. So, let's see, what do I want? Let's get Omen. Yeah, let's get Omen for you, Aquarius. What message does the source, the spirit, have for you on this situation? This guy on the skateboard, let me see. Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine, 1996. Number 7 is the card that came out for you. So perhaps you've been feeling oppressed. And yeah, I mean, if you're in a hangman or stalemate situation right now, you're going to feel oppressed, okay? But I explained already what the hangman means. There is overconsumption. There is perhaps a lot of crowd following, You know, my crowd following, if I want to use this as an example, you want to get a degree. You want this freaking like doctorate in the highest thing. And why do you want it? Well, because Jeffrey over there keeps telling me, you know, that he's about to finish grad school, blah, blah, blah. And I want to show him that I know because he's a dumbass. I need to show him that I know more than he knows. So now you are following the crowd versus why the universe has you in suspension at the moment. That's just an example. Okay, take what resonates, leave the rest. Overspending. If you've hit like a certain number in your bank account and that's why you find yourself that you can't move forward or move back, it's also another reason to sit and think and look at your situation more clearly. All right, so there's probably some overspending going on. There's anger, yeah, hence the Four of Cups. You're just like, I don't care right now. I don't like how this is going. I just want to complain here. I don't care. I take those gold, but what are those cups going to do for me anyway? I'm just giving, you know. Lost identity. When we're talking about the crowd following, you probably find yourself where you're trying to please the outside and not what is your authenticity. Okay. Take what resonates, leave the rest. By the way, it's number 7. So if the 7 resonates with anybody that's watching, that's an Aquarius. Perhaps it's something that happened in July. Perhaps you're dealing with someone born in July. Perhaps you're born on the 7th. That makes you an Aquarian, maybe in February 7th. 7th day, 7th month, 7 weeks. Message for Aquarius watching. Open up your heart. It will help you attract more love. Love to me is not just like relationships like boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife. It also means personal relationships like friends, okay? So that means if you open up your heart and stop being so self-centered, it could also open up those it could free this up faster, make this fulfillment better, and then for you to actually move forward in a much better opportunity. That's what I get from that for you, Aquarius. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Now we move to Pisces, which is the last sign of this segment. We move that here. Pisces. All right, Pisces. What message do you have for Pisces watching us today? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Takes what resonates, leave the rest. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. What message do you have for Pisces? What's interesting is that when I sniffled right now, and prior to me pulling this card, I was about to say someone has been crying. Okay, like I sniffle and it's my nose is not itching. It just like immediately. Okay, the sun. So if 5 of Cups, the sun, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, Pisces. Message I get, I mean, I just mentioned what happened to me. Like my body just sniffled. My nose is not itchy. It's not congested. I know I said earlier that my allergies were kicking in, but I just sniffled, but I don't feel anything coming out. It just an immediate reaction to go. And then I pulled out the 5 of Cups. Some of you guys have been crying over a situation. Some of you have probably gone through a sad situation, hence the 5 of Cups, okay? The 5 of Cups shows that there's 3 spilled and 2 standing. I see it this way. Some of you might be focusing on what's lost and not really what you still have left over. Okay. Because everybody goes through disappointments and breakups, whether it's from a job, from boyfriend, girlfriend, divorce, family, all that stuff. And we focus on what was lost instead of actually what's still left. Okay. But the sun card coming out here is telling me like, that was there is a purpose. There's always a purpose or a reason. There is a purpose for it. Maybe whatever you're crying over is, it could be even a part of yourself that died. Okay. Like if you experience, like, if there was a physical loss, like someone passed away, it's understandable. Perhaps that, maybe it was also a death within yourself that you feel sad about because you, you're like, wow, I really miss that part of me, all that stuff. Okay. But the sun here is saying, hello, there's better days. There is the sunshine. There is hope. There is, the sun makes things bloom. So it's an opportunity for blooming, for something to be reborn. Because when I say bloom, it's because in springtime, the more sun some plants get after all those rains, then now you start seeing the growth of the plants. So it is actually an energy of saying that everything will be okay. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles here, her energy and her presence here is telling me that whatever it is that you were probably crying about, perhaps it had to do with your stability, your living situation, what you consider something that's going to be fulfilling for you long term. And if so, it might have taken a hit with this loss, but it takes us back to where you retrace your steps. The sun is saying hello. A major arcana always overpowers a minor. So in this case, the sun is saying, yo, queen, turn that frown upside down. Okay. There's still hope. You could still do whatever you want to do, but how can you get there? Let's get an omen. Let's get an omen. This one stood out. Seasons of the Abyss by 1990, number one. So you may have been feeling that you've been in a dark time because you found yourself in the dark depths of your mind. That is 12th house. Cancer, Pisces energy. Okay. You may have faced the shadows of the underworld. So some of you might have gone through your Pluto returns, as Pluto might have been transiting in your chart, see where Pluto is on your chart. So you guys really were going through some transformations. You had an inner war and an external war. So if you have an internal war with yourself, a lot of it comes out and it actually starts projecting to your environment. Okay, so that was going on as well. If your situation involved maybe some like physical violence, or perhaps someone had like some like firearm or anything, that could explain also like that big disappointment. But anyway, this is just me reading some energies off this oracle card. But overall, the card that trumps all this is the sun. Okay, the sun here. Let's get a cosmic insight for you. Cosmic insight for my Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus watching. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Let go. Make room for the new beginning on its way. Let me see. Make room for the new. Make room. Okay, wait. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. God damn it, these cards. Okay. So it's like whatever needed to grieve, it's okay to grieve, but it says don't die with your dead. In Spanish, especially in Ocho, we say no te mueras con los, no te mueras no te mueras con el muerto. Okay. It's like the understanding that the cycle of life is evolving, and it ends and it starts again. So in this case, it's like, let go. You already process your grievance. The sun is shining. And then you can move to this. While she's in reverse, it's like you could always change your mindset to make her more fertile where you want to get to. The end goal is long term, right? Long term stability, long term safety, long term like satisfaction. Then yeah, you need to have a bit of hope, and that's where the Sun card comes in. Well, that has been the readings for Libra to Pisces. Take what resonates, everybody. If it didn't resonate, sorry, but if it did, I'm glad to be the one that provided those messages for you. So the reading ends now. Have a good weekend, and please stay safe, you guys. Bye.